Bill and Sherry Ruth were just living the life of their dreams. In 2007, they moved to the awe-inspiring beauty of Estes Park, Colorado, from Pennsylvania, after devoting their professional careers to teaching and experiencing the benefits of physical education. Bill was a 12-time All-American swimmer in college and later a professional triathlete, an Ironman, ranked as high as 4th in the world.
You race an Ironman for 9 and 10 hours in ungodly heat, and everybody's always told me, you're a mutant, you're not human.
Every doctor that either one of us has ever seen has always said, oh, you two don't ever have to worry about having any kind of cardiac issues ever.
All that changed for the 65-year-old with little warning on a routine run.
We put on a little run from the Stanley Hotel in Estes Park. We get a half mile and I'm dying. I mean, I've never felt this before. I am literally dying. So we go another half mile. One of the girls goes to me, she goes, Bill, are you okay? I says, no, I'm not okay. Something's wrong.
Later, an EKG revealed that Ruth was experiencing atrial flutter, or irregular heartbeat. A subsequent echocardiogram showed a bicuspid aortic valve, a congenital heart defect in which the aortic valve has only 2 flaps instead of the normal 3. Most people with this defect often develop a narrow or leaky aortic valve. Finally, the defect may have contributed to an aneurysm, an enlargement of the aorta itself.
Basically a dilatation of the aorta, which is the main blood vessel that comes out of the heart, and it was quite a large aneurysm. The unfortunate thing about aneurysms is that they're usually asymptomatic until they have a problem. And when they have a problem, it's usually something called a dissection or a rupture, which the mortality for that is very high.
That's not me. You know, they're not talking about me. You know, I'm Superman.
Treatment options did not come until the Ruths did some research, and one of their former students, a chief of cardiology at a large medical center in Pennsylvania, made his recommendation.
When we told him we were looking at Baylor, his staff was Cleveland and Baylor trained, and he was Hopkins trained, and they all said, if you can go to Baylor, go to Baylor. And that was enough for us to hear.
In January 2016, an interventional cardiologist on the medical staff at Baylor Jack and Jane Hamilton Heart and Vascular Hospital performed an ablation to correct the atrial flutter. An interventional cardiologist inserts a catheter into the patient's blood vessels and eventually to the heart. There, by using radiofrequency, laser, or cryotherapy, the malfunctioning tissue is destroyed. The scarred areas no longer send abnormal signals. The heart returns to a normal rhythm. This minimally invasive procedure usually has a short recovery period, really important in multi-phase procedures like this one, because just 3 months later, a cardiothoracic surgeon replaced Bill's genetically damaged valve and his entire ascending aorta.
These guys know their stuff. They do this all the time.
You just had total confidence in the staff taking 100% care of you.
As soon as we got home in Colorado, I was on my bike trainer hour to 2 hours a day. I've been doing basically about 2 hours of aerobic work a day. Back to my normal self. We've been hiking up in the park, over 10,000 feet, and nothing.
Throughout the process, a team at Baylor helped the patients arrange travel and transportation. After one follow-up visit, the couple wrote a letter to the president of Baylor, thanking Baylor for the life-saving treatment Bill received.
How's everybody doing?
One of the things we loved about here was everybody was so pleasant.
They just had this caring attitude about them, that they understood that the people who are here are in a very stressful situation, and they just seemed very compassionate, and it was just phenomenal. We've never had an experience like that anyplace else. Makes it genuinely a special place.